I'm Dan Crooks and welcome back to iDead. Today we're going to be talking about Random Acts of Violence, which is a Shudder exclusive, directed by Jay Baruchel. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. Random Acts of Violence stars Jesse Williams and Jordana Brewster, as well as Jay, whatever his name is, as well. And it follows a comic book creator, his partner, his girlfriend, and their assistant as they go on a road trip to do like conventions and stuff from Toronto to America. Most of the film taking place in America. But while he's doing this, their comic book is called Slasher Man, and it follows it's based on killings that happened in like the 1980s in America on some route. And there's like this crazed person out there who's recreating some of the kills that take place in the comic book. So the film just sort of follows them as they're being hunted down. Not so much hunted down, they're being stalked by this person who's like killing people. And that's about the gist of it without giving anything away. Because I would say if you haven't seen this film and you're into slasher films, definitely give this one a watch because it is a fun film. At times the pacing can be a wee bit off, like, you know, it's going from like really interesting stuff to quite dull conversations. It's one of the main downfalls of this film is dialogue at times. Like, it seems like they're almost trying to make the dialogue realistic, but it ended up just sort of being annoying and you're waiting for something more interesting to happen. But the story is quite interesting and it's a whole different take on the slasher genre. It's not something we've actually really seen before. And to get to know the backstory of Slasher Man, and yes, it is a stupid name, but the backstory is very interesting and how the creators of the comic are sort of dealing with, you know, having this comic book out that's based on some real murders and dealing with the consequences of that from people who don't think they should be publicizing these murders or glorifying them, because the guy says, who created the comic, that he's the protagonist. The Slasher Man is the protagonist in his comics rather than the antagonist, so almost the good guy in a way. You know, he's trying to almost justify the guy's actions, but then obviously that takes a turn whenever the actions start affecting the creator up front. The gore set pieces in the film are quite good, you know, and there's nothing particularly outrageous or anything, you know, it's all pretty basic gore, nothing you're going to really wince or squirm at, you know. So that was fine. It is story here. There is times where the film sort of delves into like weird artsy stuff, especially towards the end. There's like one scene in particular before the last scene. I was like, it didn't really need to be as long as it was. I could tell what they were trying to do with it. I just didn't think it was executed as well as it could have been. And, you know, there's also wee animated scenes which are in a comic book sort of style, which are quite interesting to throw into the mix. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It's definitely a film I would go back and watch again. Not probably anytime soon, but it's not something I would just shun off, and I'm glad I watched it because it's interesting to see comedians or comic actors take on these sort of, you know, horror projects, which your man Jay has done with this one, and he's done quite a good job. I would have maybe liked a little bit more backstory on the whole Slasher Man thing, but what you get is quite interesting enough, you know, to keep you going, and I can't really complain too much. The characters are, for the best part, unlikable, but you don't hate them, if that makes any sense, you know. They're not, maybe apart from Jay's character, he's quite annoying, but the rest of the characters are quite good, which is like played by Jesse Williams and Jordana Brewster, they're not particularly big people in the horror genre from what I know. I know Jordana Brewster, she was on The Faculty back in the 90s, but other than that, I don't know if she's been in any other sort of horror type film. But no, I'm rambling now. It's a really good slasher film. It has some great sequences, and I think if you're a slasher fan, definitely give it a go. It doesn't have a lot of good ratings on IMDb, which I find quite interesting, but then it's, you know, there's a good ratio, I think, between dislikes and likes for the film, so yeah, take that for what you will. It's a Shudder exclusive, so it's on Shudder. If you have it, give it a check. Check it out. But yeah, I just watched it there now and wanted to get a video up on it with my first impressions, all that sort of stuff. That's what the main thing I try to do on this channel. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Join me next time. Follow me on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Ring the bell. You know how to use YouTube. You don't really need me telling you how to do it, but I do it anyway. Bye.